Alright, today on the bench, we've got a comparison video between the Arrma Outcast 8S EXB version to the new released Arrma Outcast 4S. This is the V2 version that's only just recently been released. As you can see, it's normally a bit hard on the video to tell, but the 8S version, being this one here, is quite a bit bigger. It's actually quite funny. I know the camera won't do it justice, but the 8S version is definitely quite a substantial size difference to the 4S. 4S being this one here, this is the new release V2 version in the blue, and this is the EXB version of the 8S truck. It comes in this sort of matte black with the gloss black. It looks really good. They both do have the D-Boots backflip tires. I'd say, looking at the tread pattern, very similar tread pattern, just this one's a lot more scaled up. It's just a lot bigger. If I put the two wheels together, you can see the size difference is quite a big difference on them. Obviously the 8S truck runs a bigger hex as well. The actual tire compound, I'd say, is quite similar, quite soft, quite pliable. I think, yeah, very comparable. The rubber on this 8S version seems like it may be just slightly thicker, but it is still quite a thick, quite a pliable, soft feeling rubber. I'd say it's a very soft compound, very grippy, just like this as well. So very similar tires and wheels. The wheel design themselves is exactly the same, just scaled up. So I'd say, yeah, they're very similar, just big difference in size. Bodies themselves, very similar look, similar shape. Once again, just scaled up. They have changed some things on the bodies that I can show you. They both do have this roll cage up the top up here with the screws on it. Obviously this one's a lot thicker and a lot stronger. This one's thinner, but it's the right scale for the truck. If I turn the bodies over, just sit that there like that, and I'll get the 8S version as well. Now the 8S version I have shoe glued and drywall taped, so that's what you'll see on the inside of this one. It's I do that to all my bashes, it just makes them a lot stronger. So you can see on the inside, this is the 4S and this is the 8S. That roll cage you can see at the back comes through the holes in the body and it mounts into this other section of it to strengthen the inside of the body. And also it comes into the roof in here, which goes through to the skids that you see on the roof. So the 8S has a lot more internal strength added to the body. And this section here also keys into the chassis to stop the body from being crushed. You can see on the 4S version, the roll cage just screws into the body here and there, nothing on the roof, and it doesn't have your roof skids up on the roof. Where the body of the 8S, if I can manage to turn it back over again, it's quite a large body. You can see what I was talking on the roof here. It's got your skids and your roll cage. That's what you could see on the inside of the body. So there is some differences on the body. Also, the 8S version comes with these little clips on the top for your body mounts. Just makes it a bit more secure, a bit stronger, less chance of it ripping through the body. They've just put a lot more strength in the 8S EXB version over the 4S. I will shoe glue and drywall tape the 4S version as well, but that's the differences between the insides of them. As you can see, there's no internal structures on the 4S, where the 8S version has all this internal structures and that there. Just makes it a bit stronger, but it is the EXB version as well, so you'd expect it to be a bit stronger. If I get this 4S body put on the inside, you can see the size difference in body. There is quite a big difference in the size. I'll just put the bodies over here to the side for a bit now. Show the inside of the trucks. Sort of similar layout to them. You can tell that they're from the same family. They do have a shorter chassis, being an Outcast over like a Creighton, which has a longer chassis on them. You can see it's quite short. This is your 4S version. Lot smaller motor, heatsink and ESC, quite a lot smaller. There's only a 4S ESC, I think it's the 130 amp. It does have the IC5 connectors, it does have two. On this one, I've just put the Spectrum firmer system in this as well. This comes as a roller, so you can put whatever you want. I just have the Spectrum system in this. That's the one that I've chosen to put in. It is the 160 amp ESC and the firmer motor as well. It's the 1250 kV motor with I've just put a heatsink and fan, the Arrma one on there as well. So similar looking systems, just a lot bigger on the 8S version, being an 8S. This is that mount that I was talking about, the body. Well, on the inside, that body mount keys into this and it just stops it from getting crushed down. This is quite a thick structure here. As you can see on the top of the 4S one, it does have this chassis brace with this new shock mount system, which is made that if you push in your towers and sort of flex the chassis, this will flex with it as well, rather than snapping off. That's one of their new systems, apparently, to make this a bit stronger. I haven't tested it out yet, but that's the theory behind it. The 8S version has 2 battery trays, one on this side and one over on this side, so you can run the 2 batteries, where this one is mainly designed to run the 1 battery on the one side. You can run 2 2S batteries stacked on top of each other, but it's mainly designed to run on your single, 4S pack or 3S pack. Body mounts on these up here, quite small, quite flexible, made to suit the size of the body. I've added this bit of foam on top here just to stop the shock towers from pushing into the body as much. 8S version, much bigger, much thicker. They are flexible as well, but nowhere near as flexible. You can see all the quick release pin system that they've got on here to remove these chassis braces. You just pull out like a body pin and pull a slider pin out and these will all come apart. Same with all in here. It's quite a neat setup. It does have the chassis brace across the top and down in the middle here, just to make it a bit stronger, but you can see that this doesn't have that shock absorber system. It's just the difference between the two. On this one in here, the 4S, it does have a plastic drive shaft in the center. You can see it running up there with the center bearing in it just to stop it from wobbling as much. The 8S version runs metal drive shafts. You can see up the center up there and back here, they're quite thick, but that is a difference between the 2 trucks. The transmission on this one, you can see in here, is in the center. It's more of the motor is actually flipped around the other way. So the motor on this one is in the center with the transmission, where on the 4S, the motor is facing the other way. You can see on the 8S one, the gears are all here. On this one, they're towards the back, and the transmission is down in here in the back of the vehicle. So that's just a difference in orientation of the motor and where the transmission is. As you can see, they are a lot different, a lot bigger. The shocks on them, there's your 8S ones compared to your 4S. It's hard to get the scale size difference, but quite a lot difference. The shafts on this are a lot thicker. The shock bodies themselves are a lot bigger and thicker. It's just overall just a much bigger truck. 8S has got a very similar style of arm on it to the 4S, just scaled up. That's the main thing about these trucks, I think, is just that the 8S version is just scaled up. It's just a lot bigger. The 8S version does have a metal chassis underneath. This is the EXB version, so it's a 7075 alloy one, where the 4S version has a plastic chassis. It's a lot lighter. The 8S truck is a very, very heavy truck. It weighs quite a bit. It's one of the heaviest trucks I have. You can see they both do have the wings on the back. Plastic wings, quite strong. They're not made out of Lexan. That's your 4S one. This is your 8S. Very similar. Thick plastic. I think it's going to be quite durable. But overall, the overall design of the trucks are the same. They both have the wheelie bars in behind the wings. They're both plastic wheeled. They do have ball bearings in them. They spin quite nice. In the similar same areas, same looking tyres, same rims. Very similar looking vehicles, just one is a lot smaller, one's a lot bigger. It's your choice which one you prefer. I like them both, so I've picked up both of them. Obviously, the 8S version is a lot more expensive. It costs a lot more to get the 8S version. They do have a ready-to-run version of this, and it's probably double the price of the 4S version. So if you want the bang for your buck, cheaper vehicle that's amazing amounts of fun, the 4S version's a great truck to go for. If you want the big, large-scale, crazy power, out of control, 8-ish version's also awesome as well, but get ready to pay for it because it's definitely not cheap. But that's a bit of a video just giving you a quick look at them. It's not a technical video going into all the technical. It's just more of a quick comparison between the two of them and what they look like and size differences. You obviously need a lot more room to store this 8S version. It takes up a lot more room on your shelves or in your garage. But yeah, they're both cool vehicles. They're both for different things. I don't think you could bash the 8S version as hard as much as it's a bigger truck. It's just the parts on them are so much more expensive, and it's so heavy that it will break parts a lot easier than the 4S, being a lighter, more nimble truck. So they are similar, same looking trucks, but I would say that they're for different purposes. That's just my opinion. But I love them both. They're both really good trucks. If you're looking at getting them, this just gives you a bit of a difference between the sizes and what one has compared to the other. But it's just a quick look on the both of them. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know in the comments if you've got one of these trucks or you want one of these trucks and you want to see more about them. I can make some more videos. But yeah, just a quick look between the 4S Outcast and the 8S Outcast, and I'll see you in the next one.